Well, maybe they're watching. I would love that. But I think these things are going to happen. I really do. You know, Apple bought Siri. Siri's a company. You just talk. I'd like a reservation for 6 at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Lower Manhattan at 8 p.m. Press one red button, confirm. It knows who I am, knows where I am.
And you think it works? I mean, you feel like it works as well as you'd like it to right now?
No, it doesn't do enough. But the things it does, I know what it does well, and it's an amazing part of my life. It's really gone over to preferring to speak into the phone when I can.
Right. So this is interesting. So we're talking about the Nexus One, and Google, they have to send the voice.
And the iPhone.
No, I know, but Google in particular, they send that voice data gets sent back to Google servers, and then it comes back with your translation.
Same thing with Siri.
Right. So you've got to have good connectivity, and I want to ask you about carriers, because obviously the big deal right now is we're starting to choke the bandwidth when it comes to wireless in America, when it comes to mobile carriers. What is your take on the current situation here with Verizon, AT&T, and 4G starting to be on the rise? Is this the solution?
You know what? I like explanations that I understand and I know that I know the answer. Why are so many calls dropped in San Francisco and New York on AT&T? Why? I don't know the reason why. Is it just congestion? Is it cells switching around? Is it a car drove into my cell and decided to drop me and keep the car? I have no idea what the real...
Have you ever asked them?
No, I haven't.
You should. They'll tell you. And then you can tell us.
AT&T will tell me honestly.
Don't you think?
No. No.
The number of times AT&T has stolen things from me. Thief comes in my house, steals my hi-fi, I catch him. And if he gives it back, I say, you're still going to prison.
Wait, are you saying AT&T broke into your house?
Yeah, like it's like, okay, this has happened so many times before. One time, they dropped an international data plan. I got a $7,000 bill in half a day in Germany. Okay, so I had 2 iPhones. I have them right here with unlimited international data for $64 a month. I knew when I bought the new iPhone, they would steal those plans back because they're valuable. They're good plans. You can't buy them anymore. And so I went down, the day before I'm standing in line to get my iPhones, went down 3 times to the AT&T store with a friend. And we checked, and the AT&T store said, no, you don't lose any features when you buy the new phone. You've got them on here, you'll still have them. I wouldn't give my credit card in the Apple store until the salesman and the manager said I won't lose any of the features of my plans, including international data. After I bought the phones, I ran down to the AT&T store. They brought it up on their computer, and I still had the plan. And the next day, my wife and I went down at night to the AT&T store, and they brought it up, and I still had the plan. And the next day, I flew to Bogota, Colombia. And when I landed, I had no international data plans on either of these 2 phones. They thought I wouldn't catch them. I've done everything a human could do. I have done everything a human could do.
So did they charge you, or what happened?
Eventually, I got it back. Well, eventually, I got the plans back. When it got up to their media, that means publicity.
So you don't think so?
Since that, I had an iPad that wouldn't update on my computer. So I went to the store. I just wanted them to fix it. Well, they swapped a brand new iPad in. Good. They had to update the operating system, whatever. Later on, I stopped at a restaurant recently while I was driving to Las Vegas. Stopped at a restaurant in Valencia. And here I am. I brought up my iPad and it says, you got to buy new data. More data. What do you mean I've never had a buy data plan? I've always had unlimited domestic data. And I went down to an AT&T store and they checked, and it turns out that somehow just having my iPhone replaced with a different one, they took away that unlimited data plan. And I just sort of know. I think I'll run down to an AT&T store tonight and check to see if I can.
You might want to after that. I mean, this is a real issue, though. I mean, the carriers are obviously fully in control of our bandwidth, right? And everybody, as we increasingly get these more complicated devices, everybody's going to have one someday. Right now, it's only 30% or something, but it's going to be 100. We're all going to be carrying around something like an iPhone.
Drop calls isn't the same thing as bandwidth.
Right.
I mean, are you upset because the data's coming just too slowly?
Oh, kind of.
Well, God, if there's too many of us, let it come too slowly. But it might be coming too slowly for other reasons. But I don't think the reasons are cleared yet. I don't think they're cleared up. And
we need to do a special feature on this.
Why do so many calls so quickly get dropped in San Francisco, and then I pull out my Verizon phone and it works?
Isn't that because it's not working better?
Well, I believe it. I travel a lot. When I'm in cars, anywhere I am, usually Verizon. Once in a while, you're in a place. Verizon doesn't work here, but AT&T does. But it's so rare, I can't remember one.
Oh, so are you going to get a Verizon iPhone when they're available?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm not going to get one.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to take the white one, and I'm going to put a Game Boy sticker on the back, so it looks like a Game Boy. And the skin, it's a skin. And then I'm going to take the black one, and I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to wash those parts in paint thinner and do that clear, you have the clear sides.
Really?
Yeah, I want to do a little more
Why not?
nicer
Why not
skins.
with the AT&T phones?
I would do it with AT&T phones if the Verizon ones weren't coming.
Yeah.
And these I like to keep white and black because the resistor color code for white is 9, resistor color code for black is 0, and those are the digits that those phone numbers end with. They all start with 8. So I never remember one digit.
So when you get your new pair of Verizon iPhones,
9s.
It'd be a different white and black.
right, but when you get them, will you then carry around 4 different iPhones?
No, 5. I have a 5th iPhone. I have another iPhone.
Yeah.
No. With a tethering plan because I travel a lot. And if I'm in another country and just absolutely desperate and nothing's working, my Verizon phones don't work as MiFis. So I bought a tethering and international on a third iPhone. Because these have unlimited international data plans. I can't put it on the same phone. I would lose those unlimited international data plans. And I've used it. I actually used it. One time I was out, it's a strange thing because it's not a MiFi. Apple's tethering will tether to your computer through USB or Bluetooth. It doesn't put out a MiFi. You can't use it with an iPad. You know, I know that was deliberate. So I sat there, I was on a Segway polo team in the World Championships, or the European Championships, and I was playing, and everybody else had an iPad out on the German team. Well, I have my iPad, but I don't have a plan that works in Germany on it. So what I did was I pulled out this phone that had, it had tethering and international. I tethered over to my MacBook Pro, and I had my MacBook Pro shared on Wi-Fi, so I could use my iPad like everybody else. I just wanted to fit in.
There's got to be a better way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. So you'll have 5 iPhones once you get the Verizon one.
That are active.
And how many iPads are you going to carry around?
Just one.
Oh, I want to talk about something.
You know, that's a good question. Would I get a Verizon iPad? It's a difficult question. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that at least would be, you'd have
One
more
iPad's
consistent
enough.
data on that, probably.
One iPad's enough. I'm using my iPad a lot these days. You know, I think of myself as a MacBook Pro guy. I like the keyboard. I like to sit down in my hotel or my home. But you know, gosh, everywhere I go now on an airplane or something, I'd much rather bring out the iPad. Whether it's watching movies or whatever.
I want to talk about something that you showed me backstage. It's very strange. Steve brought these pads. Kevin, can you? One of our interns is going to bring this out. Can you tell us a little bit about this pad? Steve, he gave me some sheets off of this pad and showed the back of it.
Normal pads of sheets of paper,
They're not
but
normal.
basically, I got a printer in my hometown of Los Gatos, California, to make these pads for me, and I got him the supplies from a higher quality printer, and they're perforated, so you can tear them off like green stamps. I don't know if it's the right president. The serial numbers are very suspicious, but you can still smell ink, so don't touch it because it's a little wet. They meet the specs of the U.S. government. So by law, these are legal tender. I have been spending them. You can get arrested for them. You cannot get convicted because you're in the right.
He's printing his own $2 bills and spending them.
I sell sheets of 4 $2 bills for $5. And of course, it's worth $50. It's worth. You'd be an idiot not to buy it for $5. I sell them all over the place. And the Secret Service approved these 3 times, and 2 of the times they actually saw them. And one of the times they read me my Miranda rights. They pulled out and read me my Miranda rights, and they wanted an ID. And I thought I'd never have another chance in my life to see the Secret Service. So I used an ID that I'd used on every airplane flight for 5 years of my life, based on a department. This was before people could print color, picture IDs. I had a dye sublimation printer. So nobody on a home computer could do it. It was a very expensive printer I had. And I made a lot of fake IDs for backstage concert passes and things. I have this one. It says it's based on a Department of Defense card, and I changed it to Defiance. Because you know, if you see the first letters of a word and the last letters, your head doesn't see the word wrong.
So wait, you got a fake ID and you're from the DOD? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it said... ID saying Department of Defense, it'd be illegal, but it says Department of Defiance, so it's a joke. And then laser safety officer, because I always carry laser pointers from the earliest days, and I have an eye patch in the picture. I played with my life for 5 years, years.
So you used it to get on the planes, and did you wear the eye patch when you were
No,
flying?
no, but I'll tell you, when I went up to get a ticket, and the clerk selling tickets would be so impressed. Sometimes she'd go to her bank. She's a laser safety officer, like it's some important thing in the world. It was a very strange idea.
You were just playing a prank on everybody.
I still don't show them my driver's license usually, like most people.
What do you show them?
A passport card. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, if you have a passport, for $30 you can buy a little passport card. It's more beautiful than any statewide driver's license. It's just more beautiful.
Can you use it as a driver's
And
license?
you can use it. No, you can. Yeah, no, you can't. But you can use it as a passport to Mexico, Canada, Bahamas, Bermuda. Some places you can use it as a passport even. But it's a government picture ID, so they accept that.
You do.
Eventually the guy said, oh, we can't take these. And I said, I want the hamburgers. He says, well, we'll give you the hamburgers. We just can't take your money. And after 5 minutes, they changed their mind.
They took it.
Yeah.
Now these are in circulation.
A lot of them are.
Thanks to you.
They've been in circulation for 20 years. I've been spending them in Woodstock.
I think you just figured out why you never look at your bank account. You really have to. Steve, we could talk all night, but I know we need to wrap up.
We'll have other chances.
Thank you
We'll
so
have other
much.
chances.